Hi.
Whitney.
Can you see me?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Jesus.
Oh my
Wow.
So,
Oh, Carol Ann, welcome to the party.
I
This
brought
is-
my pink guitar.
She's making her debut, but she's doing a great job. Oh my goodness, y'all. Every week it gets crazier and crazier.
Fabulous, of course.
Not to mention, I have pink champagne
So do I.
course you do.
Cheers.
Of course.
and I have a spare.
Look at Randy. I don't know, Randy. Oh, Kimberly, look at you. My God. Oh, Lordy. You have the tea party thing figured out, Kimberly. You know?
I do.
Yeah, that's kind of your thing. That's your stick.
Yeah,
Little
you can't
oh
compete
my
with
gosh,
that.
look at that. Oh, did you
Well,
make
that may be true, but I bet you none of you has walked 21 times in the breast cancer walk like I have.
Oh, okay, girl, thank you. and
Not so. That's right.
Are you walking again this year?
I already have. I've raised $159,000 in 21 21
Thank you.
Wow, Carol Ann,
Thank
that's
you.
awesome.
How about
Well,
that?
we've pledged to support anyone who still has doing a fundraiser, so let us know.
I sent it to Whitney. I
Oh,
sent my fundraiser to Whitney.
She kept the money. Yeah, apparently.
Because I had Elvis in my ad.
You did. Well, send it over to me. Whitney's got other things on her mind this week.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to send that to you, Carol. I have a couple of them, so.
Oh, you do? Okay. I thought we were going to get off scot-free.
Yep.
It's not. Hey,
Yep.
Kathy, she's got her apron on. Yay, Kathy, you found it. Told
Yeah,
you.
but I don't have all the ingredients.
You don't. Well, you're ready to bake because I could tell that by the apron. And Anne, are you in the kitchen? What
No,
ki-
well, I've got my Dabo women's clinic, ladies
Okay,
clinic
Good
shirt
girl. Good
for
girl.
breast cancer awareness.
Yeah, good.
I can just step into the kitchen, but I don't know what the ingredients
Well,
are.
you know, well, what is wrong with you people? I'd sit there. They're in the fire. You're the
Well,
third
put a
person
pot of
today to
chili
say
on
that
it.
they don't know what the ingredients are. I don't know. Maybe it's driver error, pilot error, or whatever you
I
call it.
read them.
Thank you. I
But
needed
I
this.
actually bought pink cookies instead.
I don't know, guys. You know, we said the first 5 that show up ready to bake, but I don't know. Now I'm not seeing too many that are ready to bake. But
I've
some
got
have-
everything but one ingredient. It can be a flop.
You can fake it. Fake it till you make it, Kathy. I don't know. Maybe we should just go with the first 5 to wear pink today. I see 5 of you in
Oh.
pink already. No?
Kathy, what ingredient are you missing? Chef might be able to help you out with a substitute.
There you go. Kathy,
Yeah.
he wants to know what ingredients you're missing. He says chef might be able to help you out with a
Well,
substitute.
I'm missing baking powder, so I want to know if I could substitute all-purpose or self-rising flour instead of all-purpose.
The baking
Yes,
soda?
No,
yes, you can use self-rising flour, and you should use a little bit of baking soda as well.
Okay, cool. That's what I'll do. That's what I thought.
So for the recipe, I will do a 1/4 teaspoon.
Okay, I got it.
That's why I'm not a baker. I was never good with math. I'm an okay cook because I can just kind of throw things in and I go, that tastes good. But with baking, it's almost like being in a chemistry lab.
it's science. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm one little teaspoon off and the whole
Right.
thing can go flat.
Yeah.
Have to be a lot more precise. A lot more precise.
Well, welcome everybody. It's 4 o'clock, the bewitching hour, and we're all in pink today or some form of it. And we thank you for being here. I'm Whitney Bradley with Retreats Resources, my partner Carol. Carol, say hi.
Hi.
And we are here today. The pink theme is because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we wanted to acknowledge that and celebrate that as an effort and the survivors. And I know quite a few of those. And we want to welcome you to the call. This is what we do every week around this time. We're glad that you're here. If you're here with us for the first time, we want you to say hi. And if you are here dressed up, ready to go, we also want you to introduce yourself and tell us what you have on, whether you're ready to bake or not. This is going to be really fun today because we actually have a wonderful pastry chef with us. So we'll just open it up. If you want to say hi, say hi. Tell us what you're wearing and what you're baking and whether you're ready to go or not.
Well, hi.
Hey, Carol Ann.
Okay, so to get the full effect of my outfit, I'm going to have to back up because I am wearing a cashmere trimmed in pink fox. I have a fox hat to match. I have my pink electric guitar. And I have walked in the breast cancer walk for 21 years, and I love baking, and I bake things all the times. So I'm thinking pink Madelines are perfect. Although today, since I actually had to work, I'm not in my kitchen, but just to be in the spirit of things, I bought ruby cocoa cookies so that I could eat while you bake. And I have pink champagne because, you know, as you do.
Because it's necessary.
Well done.
Carol Ann, I'm doing my closest mimic of your mink. This is my pink chiffon room.
Oh, but and listen, I have the pink sunglasses, the Freddie Mercury glasses that you gave me, Miss Now Young. And
I love it.
They just go with my outfit perfectly.
Okay, there we go. We're twins. I'm ready.
Okay, good.
Only you're ready for bed, it looks like. Who else?
Well, I have on a pink dress under my pink apron. I have on pink earrings. I now have all the ingredients to bake and I'm ready to go. Oh, I do have my pink cocktail as well.
Good girl.
Cheers.
It wouldn't be a party, Carol, without a cocktail.
In every way that matters, I knew that you would be ready. All right, who else?
Hey, girls, got a little crazy. I've got my pink silk apron, my pink dress, my pink necklace, pink earrings, pink champagne, pink cake.
Is that cake real?
No, Madeline. Pink bracelet, pink monogrammed dishes. Pink
We're in your wheelhouse now, aren't we, Kimberly? We're like right in your lane.
Pink patisserie cutlery.
Ooh.
Pink sugar cookies from my bakery, breast cancer. Pink napkins.
Wow.
Pink cash just pink, 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 pink.
Are those flowers real?
No, they are really good fakes.
They're good fakes. Well, as I said, I believe we're in your wheelhouse whenever we theme anything to pinks and tea parties. We got
pink shoes.
I have pink shoes too.
Pink
I don't know.
Monstera.
It's now a war between Carol Ann and Kimberly.
And also, because we're not working, I'm working out with pink.
I'm barefoot in the kitchen.
And in case you didn't like this hat, I did bring one that I walked in a couple of years ago, just to show you how brave I can be when I'm doing a 66-mile walk. There you go.
I'd like to remind everybody to take a selfie, please. I beg you, because we like to promote our host the next couple of days, and all these pictures are getting a lot of attention on Facebook. So please take your selfies while we're thinking about it. And I wanted to say hi to Mary. I think it's Mary's first visit to us. Are you baking today, Mary? Did you get it organized?
I am. I brushed off my Madeleine pan.
You had a Madeleine pan. So Mary, if you don't know, is an avid fan of Paris and all things French.
Me too.
I assume is why you're joining us today.
Yay!
To see Chef, to participate with Chef.
Yeah, I'm not wearing pink, but I am wearing a sweater that says Je ne parle pas français. So
In case we can't figure that
that's
out.
as close as I can get.
Very important. All right, anybody else want to be seen?
Sure. Hi, this is Lori Meacham with World's Finest Meetings. How is everyone?
Good.
Good. Actually, my pink today is all about Castle Hot Springs. And so this is the sunset that I would love to anticipate at the Castle Hot Springs in the Sonoran Desert. And look forward to learning more about wellness and e-biking and pickleball and all the things that they offer. And then this is just let's see, a pink message. Let's see, trying to get it, but it's love, hope, and dream, which I thought was a great message for just honoring anyone that is dealing with breast cancer. So thank you.
Really good, Lori. Thank you. Randy, do you want to chime in?
Oh, I can just say that because she is such in great shape is because I do all the cooking with my chef's hat. And all you see when you look at me is pink everywhere. So that's what I'm all about today.
Are you making us some madeleines today? Are you cooking today? No? Okay. Well, you look good. I like your background. Okay, anybody else? Speak up. Okay, well, I'm bending the rules a little bit because I can, and I'm hoping that Stephen and Chef will go along with this because we said that we would award the first 5 who show up and are ready to cook today. But I'm going to add to that and acknowledge the first 5 in pink and ready to cook. First 5 in pink, as well as an additional person not in pink but ready to cook. So I'm hoping that Stephen and Chef can come up with one more gift. Stephen, describe what these folks are getting.
Yeah, so we are going to give everyone their own individual Madeleine tray following this event. So everyone, I don't know how many, I know somebody said they dusted off their Madeleine tray, so I know a few of you may not have them, so those first few will be getting a Madeleine tray courtesy of Hotel Bennett.
Would you make sure Chef makes plenty of chocolate covered Madeleines and sends those out too?
Oh, I'm gonna steal some tonight too. Even my wife swore to not come home unless I brought handmade Madeleines home with me.
I don't know. They looked an awful lot like churros, and that was making me hungry. All right. I would like you to send the Madeleine pan to the following people: Carol Ann Payne Johnson. Randy and Lori can share one. They actually do live together. So Randy and Lori Meacham. And Buck Balowski, who basically has a swag every week. Kimberly Bean, Kathy West, and as an encore, if you could come up with a 6th one, Mary Kernan. So,
I am ready.
Definitely. Just make sure we've got your personal address, and we'll be sure those 6.
That is right. If you guys will email me, if you haven't already, your home addresses, I will get it to Stephen, and Stephen can get you a Madeleine pan. Okay, everybody good?
That is good.
Hey, go ahead, Whitney.
Well, just a little bit of housekeeping, then we're going to get right to it. I'll be the moderator today, so if you do have any questions, please put them in the chat box. And otherwise, just keep yourselves muted because we're recording and it just makes everything go so much nicer for our recordings. All right, that's it. I'm going to hand it over to Carol to do the introductions.
All right, well, we have a double header today, so that's pretty exciting. And we had to come up with a unifying theme, so we thought we would celebrate number 1, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and number 2, the fact that these 2 hotels both share a place in the Condé Nast Hot List for 2020, which is a list of the most exciting new hotels to open in the world last year. So we're really honored. We're completing our Hotties series this week, and we're honored to have 2 distinctly different but equally exciting properties with us. We're going to give the first half hour to Stephen Lewis and his team at the Hotel Bennett. And then we're going to segue into a trip to the Sonoran Desert and visit with Tina Newman and the folks at Castle Hot Springs. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you all to Stephen Lewis, who handles Southeast sales for the Hotel Bennett in Charleston. We're super excited to have you, Stephen. I'd also like to acknowledge the fact that Carla Carroll, the global sales manager for Salamander, is on the call. Hey, Carla. I think she has her little daughter London with her. So if you see her pop in and out, say hi to London, and take it away, Team Salamander.
Thank you all again for joining us this afternoon. We've got something super fun planned for you. I'm excited. I'm going to join in on the fun. I'm going to be Chef's right-hand man today. He might end up regretting this by the end of the event, but I'm gonna pour some of the ingredients. I've got my cheat list here for the ingredients in the order, and I've got everything set out, so I'm hoping I'm good to go. But like was mentioned, we're gonna make some madeleines together. We're gonna pipe those trays. We're gonna put them in the oven. When everything's in the oven, we're gonna take a virtual tour together of the property in Hotel Bennett. We'll meet back here in the kitchen in La Patisserie. We'll pull those madeleines out of the oven. We will dip them and finish those off, and then we'll enjoy some amazing pastries together. So without further ado, to kind of just kickstart the event, I'm going to introduce our world-class chef here at La Patisserie, Chef Remy Fonfra.
Thank you, Steven. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining today. Steven's going to be a great help, but before starting, you need to have an apron. I don't have a pink one, but I think the white one will do just fine, right?
Gosh, I already rolled up my sleeves. I was ready to go.
So, yes, are you ready to start the recipe?
Is everybody that's cooking ready to go? Perfect.
All right, so you can add the eggs in a mixing bowl.
So 3 eggs.
Add the yolks, and then you add the sugar right away.
So all the sugar, the brown sugar, regular sugar, anything else?
No, just brown sugar and white sugar. And then you stir them until you're energetically.
If anyone can stir like this, by the way, in their home kitchen, I will be so impressed.
So it's important when you mix ingredients is to have the right size bowl for the ingredients you mix. So you can go fast and not spill all the ingredients all over. That's one real trick. You can add the vanilla extract.
Okay, so vanilla extract next.
And then the lemon zest.
Lemon zest.
Perfect. And then a pinch of salt.
Pinch. And pinch of salt.
A little bit
more. A little bit more?
A small pinch.
Okay.
So keep mixing. I don't know if you can see. So it's becoming foamy. There we go. And now
so you want it a little foamy?
A little bit foamy, yes.
A little foamy?
By mixing, allow the sugar dissolve and the yolks help the sugar to dissolve. And then if you don't mix well, fast enough, then the yolks dry up to the contact with the sugar. So you have some kind of little pearl of
like the crystal pieces?
Yes. So we go here. You can add the flour now.
Flour, okay.
And then the baking powder.
And baking powder. Now you told me something unique when we were kind of prepping for this and going through. So the flour, I don't know if everyone saw on the shopping list, it's in grams. So do you want to explain why you do things in grams and not necessarily in cups or tablespoons or teaspoons?
Yes. I do everything in grams because it's more precise than cups, especially for us when we do big quantity. If you measure 125 cups of flour, it's not going to be the same than if you scale your recipe in grams. Because sometimes, even if you sift the flour and you put gently into your cup and you leave it out of 125, it's not going to be the same. It's going to spend so much time, so it's also much easier to scale. So what is good also is ounces. You don't have to do in grams. Ounces is fine as well. So give a good stir. Then now we're going to incorporate the butter. So the butter you can have to pour slowly, like a thin
so slow pour?
Yes.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All of it?
Yes, but slowly.
Slowly.
so that avoid the fact that the mix may break. You know, that
Separate?
Yes, yes. If you go too fast. So it's a really easy recipe. So 1, 2, 3, finish.
I love this is my style of recipe.
Now the important thing about this recipe is that you make the day before, and then you make the next day. It's good for the dough to rest.
Okay, so for anybody that is cooking along with us, would you say don't put them in the trays or your cupcake trays right now? Let it sit until tomorrow, and then rewatch the next part of the video and actually do the baking process tomorrow.
Yes.
So why do you leave it sit?
For the flour, for all the ingredients to combine together, and there is like a resting time, then it's important for all those ingredients to work together.
Perfect.
Especially with this recipe. There is a lot of recipe like that, but other recipe you can just use right away. But this is very specific. The difference is when you bake, it's going to be huge.
Perfect. So if everybody hopefully heard that, if you are cooking along with us, make sure if you just mixed just now with us, make sure you let that sit until tomorrow before you go through the actual tray and baking process. We've done some prep work ahead of time to kind of beat you to the punch on that one, but make sure you let that sit. But we'll pipe, right?
Yes,
We're
we
gonna
can
pipe.
pipe. So that's the mix.
So we've got our preset mix from yesterday.
It's nice and solid. I have the trays. So I already there's two ways for the trays. Or you butter and then with a brush, or you can use just I use this. Just a spray, a really spray pan coating. It works. Both works perfectly.
Stephen.
Yes.
Stephen, one of our planners wants to know, Chef, have you ever made madeleines in the Thermomix?
Have you ever made madeleines in a Thermomix?
No. But I think if you don't, I believe Thermomix, you can set up the temperature to it. If you don't set up the temperature to it, it's fine. Yes.
So don't set up the temperature
No,
to it?
just work it with no temperature setup.
No temperature
But
set?
you can do that in a RoboCook also, you know, in a blender, not a blender, a mixer.
Okay.
You can use also a KitchenAid.
Okay.
With a whisk attachment. That works well too.
Did that answer your question, hopefully?
Marieke, did that answer your question? You can give us a thumbs up, or you can.
Am I unmuted now? I think I am.
Yes.
No.
Okay, so we're going to use two bags. And we're going to fill the bag with the Madeleine batter.
While he's filling that bag, any other questions through the mixing process?
Is there sugar? Is there sugar in this?
Yes, there's both brown sugar, regular granulated sugar, anything else?
No,
That's it, just those two sugars, brown sugar and regular sugar. Is that right?
Yes,
Regular sugar?
yes.
Just regular.
So I use a plastic pastry bag. You don't have to put a tip.
Okay.
And if you use a plastic
That metal
bag,
tip?
yeah, I just cut the size, knit it. Now if you use a fabric bag, then you can put a tip.
Okay.
And you know, like a cloth.
Yeah.
Yes. So one of the tricks for that is to put a wet towel.
So a wet towel under the tray?
Yes, so the tray doesn't slide.
Tricks of the trade.
And then you just type a little bit of batter inside, and then
I'll grab the video so you all can see this a little closer.
just like that. So that's mini, that's 1 bite Madeleine mold. I have a bigger size here. So you start from here, you go down and up. You go down. You don't have to fill all the way because the barrel is gonna rise a lot.
How full are you making those? About 3/4?
About, yes, about 3/4, a little bit more than 3/4. And make sure at that point that you have the oven ready at 375 degrees.
I saw somebody said he makes it look so easy. I don't know if I would pipe into these trays as cleanly. Sure, let's give it a try. I'll be the demonstrator on what the average Joe looks like. Just squeeze down?
Yes. Almost there.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh boy.
You need to start.
In the middle?
Yes, no,
Oh,
like this.
Straight up and down?
Right here, and then stay there. And then press, let's expand,
press.
now go down. And stop. That's it. Much better.
Did everybody see the technique? So like straight up and down instead of angled? Mine are definitely not gonna look as clean. Okay, so we'll pop these in the oven.
Yes,
Right? So these are ready?
375 degrees, about 12 minutes, depends on the oven. Until they're nice golden, it's gonna be golden around, and then they're gonna pop out. And that's it.
Perfect. So 12 minutes. So we're gonna take a quick virtual tour of the property. It's actually right at 12 minutes. So as soon as this tour is done, we should be ready to pull our madeleines out of the oven and dress them up before we taste some.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chef.
You're welcome. You're very welcome.
Before we go on the tour, anyone with any questions for Chef prior to the baking portion?
I think we've settled it, except for, can you mail us all some of your samples?
Hello from Charleston, South Carolina, and the beautiful Hotel Bennett, located at 404 King Street in the heart of the historic district. Come join us. Hotel Bennett was built in 2015, but it took almost 20 years in the making. This is owned by Michael Bennett and managed by Salamander Hotels and Resorts. What used to stand on this land was the Charleston County Library that was torn down, and this was built from the ground up. You can see in our grand foyer here, Mr. Bennett was inspired by the Grand Dames of Europe, so you will see a lot of European architecture. However, there is a feeling of low country elegance, warmth, and Southern hospitality throughout the hotel. Please follow me into our Roman Rotunda. These hand-painted murals were done for us by an artist named Jill Biskin out of Athens, Georgia. Mr. Bennett is from Charleston. He is a true local. He was born and raised here. His father, Redmond Bennett, shined shoes on this very corner of King Street during the Great Depression. So it really is a story of someone who lived the American dream, who built this crown jewel of his life's work. This is his legacy. This is his love letter to the city of Charleston. And Mr. Bennett sees this hotel as much of a civic monument to the city of Charleston as he does a hotel that's positioned to be 5-star, 5-diamond. Right this way, let's head to guest reception. We call this area the Grand Court here. This is the main check-in area for our guests. And on either side of the main lobby here, we have Camellias Champagne Lounge and Gabrielle, which is our signature restaurant. Two beautiful and very different food and beverage concepts. Camellias is our champagne and caviar lounge. Its namesake is the beautiful camellias flower, which you can see all over Charleston and many regions of the South. Here in Camellias, we serve champagnes, rosés, champagne-inspired cocktails. The shape of the space was inspired by a Fabergé egg, And it even has another layer to the story. As we mentioned, what used to stand on this land is the Charleston County Library, which was not a great looking building, but it had one redeeming quality, which was a beautiful pink marble facade. When that was torn down, Mr. Bennett kept those materials, and he had the pink marble reclad and repurposed into our bar and our tabletops here in Camellias. Just a way to pay homage to the history of the land. Welcome to Gabrielle, our signature breakfast, lunch, and dinner restaurant. Something that's really special about Gabrielle is that there is as much outdoor space to dine as there is indoor space. The plaza, which is bordering Marion Square, is a wonderful place to enjoy alfresco lunch, dinner, have cocktails. We do live music there on the weekends, and it's just a wonderful space to enjoy the cultural center of Charleston. Come on into our main dining room here in Gabrielle. Here at Gabrielle, you will enjoy the stylishly Southern menus of Chef Bob Gibson. As you can see behind me, there are Swarovski crystal castanets as a nod to the coastal influence on our menu. We have wonderful locally sourced foods as well, and it's one of the most fabulous dining experiences in the city of Charleston. La Patisserie is one of 4 restaurants and lounges that we have on site. It is led by Chef Remy, who is our world-renowned pastry chef from Lyon, France. All of the pastries, breads, and all the items that are served in the patisserie are baked in-house in the pastry kitchen. Remy's most famous pastry is called the Camellias cake, which cannot be mistaken as a compliment to Camellias Champagne Lounge. Hello from the 9th floor of the Hotel Bennett and Fiat Lux, our rooftop bar and restaurant. Right this way. Fiat Lux means let there be light, which is a wonderful compliment to the floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking downtown Charleston, the Ashley and Cooper River merging together there, our wonderful bar here, a Mediterranean-style menu, have our television there for our sports, and this restaurant does service the pool deck. We offer seating and cabana rentals to only guests of the hotel. The cabanas can be rented on a half-day or a full-day basis. They come with flat-screen televisions, couches, privacy curtains, stocked refrigerators, and an assortment of snacks from Fiat Lux. Hotel Bennett also features a world-class spa. We're in the spa retail store now, where you can check in for your service and receive a private escort to the spa on the 2nd floor, where you will find 5 treatment rooms and a couples suite. We do facials, massages, body treatments, and nail services. You can purchase any of the products used in the spa in the retail space here, including Revive Rain Shower, which is actually the signature scent of Princess Diana. It's a wonderful nod to the royalty theme threaded throughout our hotel. Charleston was named after King Charles II, and we do like to celebrate that here at Hotel Bennett with our crowns. Okay, we are in the upper rotunda now. This is on the 2nd floor of the hotel. This is the second of 3 hand-painted murals that Jill Biskin did for us. Directly below us is the lower half of the rotunda, and then you can see she brought us up here into the skies where we have all these species of birds, several of which are indigenous to the coastal Carolinas. And just to give you an idea of your bearings, to my right here, that is the grand foyer. That is the main entrance of the hotel. That double stairwell there in the main lobby, that is what you can come up. Here in the upper rotunda. This is also really the focal point of a lot of our event space here at the hotel. So if you walk with me here, this is almost 3,000 square feet of private event space pre-function here. It's just under 3,000 square feet, as I mentioned, but very residential in feel. I think that is an ongoing thing throughout the hotel. Is Mr. Bennett really wanted this to feel like you're coming into his home, those residential touches, the beautiful photography that you see throughout the hotel. It was his vision to have as many windows, as much natural light as he possibly could. And he said, where I can't have a window, I want a photograph or a painting that is looking out onto a Charleston landscape. So I think they did a really beautiful job with that here. Now, right behind me, this is our Crown Ballroom. The Crown Ballroom is just under 7,000 square feet. It can be broken up into 4 smaller breakout spaces, but again, altogether, just under 7,000 square feet with all those air walls down, and conveniently located right behind the Crown Ballroom is our banquet kitchen, so we can execute timed service flawlessly. To my right here, this is the Washington Boardroom. The Washington Boardroom is 450 square feet, and it's a gorgeous executive style boardroom that seats 14 people with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking King Street. We are up on the 9th floor, the rooftop of Hotel Bennett, and we are standing in the observatory. This is private event space only. It is 900 square feet. It is also the location of Jill's third and final hand-painted mural. She was inspired by the secret gardens of historic downtown Charleston. These doors do open, so you get a wonderful breeze. We can set up satellite bars on the outdoor terrace there. And even looking directly above us, you can see the haint blue ceilings, which is another distinctly Charleston touch. Here at Hotel Bennett, we have 179 guest rooms and suites, 14 room categories, 8 of which are suites with multiple 2-bedroom configurations. Okay, we are in one of our deluxe king rooms now. This is our lead-in room category. These start at 355 square feet. This one features a master king bed, a full bathroom with a deep soaking tub, separate glass shower, water closet, and marble vanity. And of course, beautiful views of the Holy City, King Street, and our bookshelves that are in all of our rooms is another nod to the county library that once stood here. Okay, let's see one of our signature 1-bedroom suites. Come on in. The signature 1-bedroom suite is over 1,000 square feet. It has a beautiful living area. We have a dining table for 6 here, a master king bedroom, a master bath, views of King Street and the dining mecca of our city. Welcome to the owner's suite. The owner's suite at Hotel Bennett is the most exclusive and the most luxurious suite in Charleston. This is a 2-story, 2,380 square foot space, not including the 830 square feet of outdoor terrace overlooking downtown Charleston. It features a full kitchen, refrigerator, living area, 2nd-story bedroom, executive writing desk, and all of the amenities you could want. A quick walk up the spiral staircase to the 2nd floor of the owner's suite. Here we have an oversized writing desk. This is the working space of Mr. Bennett. And all throughout the owner's suite, you will see the tasteful palette of Mr. and Mrs. Bennett reflected throughout. This is the master bedroom, beautiful views of Charleston. It's classic, elegant, with modern amenities. The master bath and the owner's suite features his and her sinks, our deep soaking tub, oversized glass shower, and water closet. Lastly, one of the greatest amenities about the owner's suite is that it includes complimentary access to our King's Club Lounge, also located on the 6th floor, just steps away. Welcome to the King's Club Lounge, located on the 6th floor of the hotel. Come with me through the library. Access to the lounge can be added onto your room rate at a nightly basis. It includes 4 culinary presentations a day, all-inclusive beer, wine, and liquor, and this stunning outdoor terrace overlooking King Street in one of our many churches here. So thank you so much for doing a tour with us today, and we hope to see you soon in the holy city of Charleston.
Thank you, Bria, our amazing senior travel industry sales manager, for the tour of the property. We're back here. It's been pretty much exactly 12 minutes, so our madeleines should be ready to pop out of the oven. We've got a couple trays here that we made that are done.
Yes, we make those a little bit earlier because the madeleine need to be completely cold in order to dip them in chocolate. So those madeleine have been baked a bit earlier. So we have 3 different colored chocolate. You can use any color that you like to dip the madeleine. Dipping madeleine is very another simple thing. Maybe simple for me, but it's basically taking the madeleine and then just dipping halfway, shake it, the madeleine out gently, and put it in a
Okay,
piece of
so kind of
parchment
the
paper.
corner,
Yes, or you can do anything you want.
corner. Shake it while it's in the dip there.
Yes, and you need to check when it's inside the chocolate, so it's pull out as much chocolate as possible. So you make a nice thin layer of chocolate.
Okay.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Perfect.
You can do the small one also. Maybe the small one will be different. You know.
Perfect.
Oh, sorry.
And of course, in breast cancer fashion, we've got some pink chocolate. You mentioned, so you don't use the liquid color of food color. You use the powder or the already chocolate that is that color.
Correct, because when you use liquid color, the chocolate has tendency to get thicker because the chocolate is melted in a double boiler or in a microwave, 10 seconds by 10 seconds, so we don't burn it. And there's nothing else in it. If you put water to make it looser, it's going to be even worse. It's going to get pasty and not fluid at all.
So I didn't even personally know about powdered food coloring, but you said you can get that at most craft stores like a Hobby Lobby, a Michael's, potentially, something like that.
Yes, and they have the chocolate already colored, so you don't have to worry about found the color, powdered color to color your chocolate. They have all different types of color.
Perfect.
So,
and we heated these chocolates up for a little bit before we started dipping,
yes,
correct?
Yes.
So just 20 seconds or so in the microwave to heat them up?
Yes, it's better 20 seconds or 10 seconds at the time. So you put the chocolate in, it's mostly in pallets, you get the chocolate in pallet, and then you put them in the microwave for 10 seconds, remove the container, and then stir it, and then put it back for 10 seconds, and keep going until it's completely melted.
And then how long until this chocolate is kind of dry to where we can actually?
About a couple of minutes.
Just a couple minutes?
You can see the dough start to set a little bit here.
Yeah.
It's not so shiny.
Perfect.
Any questions?
Any questions while we finish these last couple off?
Chef, there was a question from earlier. Does humidity make a difference in this recipe?
Humidity, no. No, it's a really easy recipe for any weather condition. The chocolate now is a little bit more complicated. Chocolate doesn't like humidity at all. So it's better to be in a drier environment. But sometimes we have to deal with what's around.
And so in a sealed container, these will last quite a while, right?
Yes, in a sealed container, those can last about a week.
So about a week. Perfect. Great. Well,
perfect.
I know. This is easier than the piping part.
You want to come walk?
No. I don't think I can handle it.
No.
Any other last questions while we've got Chef Remy here?
Can you repeat the instructions as far as, so to let them sit, do you put them in the refrigerator?
The mix?
Yeah.
Yes, in the refrigerator.
And then how long do you let it sit out on the counter before you start baking it?
You can leave them in the counter for about half an hour, and then you can pipe it and bake them. It's better to pipe it to fill the mold and bake them right away. If you're not ready, if the oven is not ready, or for any reason, you can keep the tray in a refrigerator with the barrel in it.
Okay.
That is good. It
Okay.
works.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now there's another thing. If you early bird and then you make the mix for example 6 o'clock in the morning, then you can bake them at 5 in the afternoon. You don't have to wait for the next day. That's another thing, but it looks like you don't want to wake up at 6. So
Wow.
So before we let you go, because Chef is too humble, I have to brag on him. In the background here, he makes themed holiday treats in La Patisserie as well. So Chef, explain what's inside of the actual spider and the ghost.
Some jelly beans.
So jelly beans are inside. So when you cut them open, it's a fun little treat on the inside, baked inside of each of those.
Oh my gosh.
He did some amazing Valentine's Day. I got my wife one of his petal roses that he did out of chocolate. He's got a coffin that he did for Halloween as well.
he does a lot of fun things. So if you ever visit La Patisserie, be sure you sneak in, see his display case. It's truly the most astonishing thing on a daily basis that you can see.
Stephen, if those things are orderable, you might want to post the address or the link to your website or something so that people can get treats. I think this is really wonderful. We'd love to support you.
Yeah, definitely. We will always be happy to ship. So feel free. I'll reach out to all of you after this too, so you have all my contact information easily. If you need anything or want anything, or even if you have a random cooking question for Chef Remy, we're always here to help you out in any way we can.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Wow. I loved this idea. We haven't actually cooked together before. We've had a few demonstrations, but I was just delighted to have the opportunity to have people be in the kitchen with a chef. And I think everyone really enjoyed that. So thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Chef
Merci
Remy.
beaucoup, Chef Remy.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Stephen. That was a fantastic tour of the property. I feel like I've already visited there. Does anyone have any questions for Stephen about the property before we move on to Tina? It was pretty thorough, actually. You know, I don't know that there were too many things that weren't covered in the tour, but we're going to move on. And if you think of anything for Stephen, then we're going to just please put it in the chat box and we'll come back around to it. Okay.
Yeah, Kimberly's asking how far from the airport. It's about what, downtown Charleston's maybe 20 minutes. Is that right, Stephen?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. So we're just 12 miles from the Charleston International Airport. So 20 minutes or less with or without traffic, very, very easily accessible for the peninsula.
Great. And Tina actually is still listening, and other than when am I going to get a turn, she wants to know how many rooms you have.
Yeah, so we have 179 rooms. They do break down into quite a few categories. Out of those 179 rooms, we have 26 suites. They break down into 8 suite categories. And then our 180th room that Bria toured you through is actually the owner's suite, which is the hand sell or group sell only piece. It's not actually on our website. So that's kind of the hidden gem of the hotel, is the 180th room. But yeah, that's us.
Could you do me one more favor before we change vibes here and bring your camera close to the Madeleine so we can get a close-up of what they look like finished?
Of course. Well, I will not show mine. I'll show Chef Remy's instead.
Oh, that's beautiful. And the little baby ones. Yum. Thank you. They look gorgeous. Thank
And
you.
of course, those 6 people will get the Madeleine tray. So I'd love to see you and share some pictures with Remy. If you get the chance to bake them on your own, send us over what you were able to accomplish, and we'd love to see them and share them.
That's a great idea. We want to see some pictures of your finished product on our Facebook page and tag Stephen in this presentation. That'd be fun, y'all. Decorate your little hearts out. Halloween is coming. Okay. We ready to move on, Whitney?
I am.
Okay,
Is everyone else? Yeah, sure.
Tina, are you set?
I am ready to go. Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to introduce my old friend, Tina Newman. Old is only not really a literal.
It's literal.
I go back decades. And it was really great to reconnect with her. I knew Tina when she was at the Enchantment Resort years and years ago. You guys probably are all familiar with that. And when I saw Castle Hot Springs on the Condé Nast list and reached out, I was just super excited to have an old friend respond to me. And Tina is their director of sales and marketing. So I wanted to introduce her. I don't know how many of you took the time to watch the video that was in the flyer that we sent out. It's also posted on our website. It's so well worth the watch. I spent 30 minutes with this video. I feel like I really understand why this is such a magical and special place in the United States. And I'm hoping that Tina will touch on its history. So take it away, Tina, it's your turn.
Great. Thank you, Carol, so much. And thank you for everyone who's here. Thank you, Whitney, for putting all this together. I'm going to go ahead and just run a little promo video as I go through the property a little bit that just gives you a little bit of overview. We are a very small only 30-room resort, but we do have a lot of history. Started it and let me start over again. What we've done is we were originally a resort in 1896, and that's what the documentary that Carol is talking about, it actually just won an Emmy. It goes through the entire history of the resort and how it was first discovered. And it's only been 3 years since the owner first purchased the property, and now has been putting a lot of money into it to develop into a much smaller, much more luxurious getaway. And for those of you that are familiar with the Phoenix area, we are extremely new to the area and on the west side of the Valley of the Sun, but in the northwest side near Lake Pleasant. Everything around the property also centers around, aside from the hot springs, which is our primary thing, is we have our own farm on property. So a lot of the of what I'm showing you has to do with the farm and how it's integrated into everything that the resort actually does. There's 12 of the spring bungalows, 17 of the Skyview cabins, and then there's 3 separate soaking pools that the hot springs bring. Our pricing is all inclusive. I'm going to pop to a PowerPoint after this. My office is down in Scottsdale, and the hotel's about an hour north of me. It's about an hour and 10 minutes north of the Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. So it's a great getaway. Like I said, we are only 30 rooms. I think the best thing for us to do with groups is for a property buyout. I think it's a really good way to look at the property. So just to go through a little bit, when it first was discovered as a resort, when people came and stayed, they actually came for 3, 4, 5 months at a time. And we had the great names like the Vanderbilts, the Pews, McCormick's, which is big for local here. And then of course our claim to fame is JFK stayed for a while he was recouping after the accident. We did have some notes where he also said it was a little bit boring up there, so he went down to the Camelback Inn where there's more action going on. So we were a bit of a getaway. This is an overview of the property. The spring bungalows are in the middle, the sky views over to the right, and then our main lodge, which really houses the restaurant, bar 1896, is to the left. Over 200,000 gallons of the mineral rich water. It's very clear water. There's no sulfur smell that's in it at all. And then it cascades into pools of varying degrees that really stay fairly constant all year long. This is the second pool that's set up. And this one's the third pool, which now we've started doing paddleboard yoga in, which has been a real treat for a lot of the guests. Even our main swimming pool at the property is heated by the hot springs water that comes through. And that's kind of a trick because the health department always wants you to have chlorine, but we really wanted to just use our hot springs water. So we have to keep that at a perfect sort of mix cleanliness so that we can use the hot springs water for that. This is, again, our spring bungalows. They all have private tubs that are, I'm going to pop to that one, that are outside and both the Skyview cabins and the spring bungalows have each of these outdoor soaking tubs. And then you have the hot water and the cold water and the hot springs water that you can also put right into the tub for soaking. The spring bungalows that are a little bit bigger actually having a heating element in it because it's such a big tub to keep the hot water hot once it comes in. I have one unit that's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath cottage that's on the property. It's a good place for staff. It's a good place for girlfriend getaways. We are 16 years and older property, so it's not really a kid's place to go. We're so fortunate with the culinary team that we have. And so being inclusive of a property, we really do have an elevated dining experience. So it's just because we're so far out of the norm of where you could go get things, we feel that including it makes it a little bit easier for people to just make their own choices. They order off a menu. It's not a one and done. You get your own dining choices each day. On the property, as it was originally, there's pickleball instead of tennis. We now instead of tennis, we have pickleball, and then we still have bocce ball at the property as well. This is just a little bit of an overview of all the things that are included. No resort fee. Alcohol is additional, but your gratuities, your bellman charges, a lot of the tours, guided hikes are all completely included in the rate. These are some of the interactive things we've done with groups. The chefs are making pizzas where the attendees actually went out in the farm with the farmers and selected the flavors that they wanted to add to their pizzas that were made. And then we went ahead and did that with some wine afterwards. We do have a greenhouse as well. There's more than 500 varieties of fruits, vegetables, and herbs. And for those of you that don't know, Arizona supplies in the wintertime more than 90% of the United States green leafy vegetables. So people think of Arizona being rather arid and dry, but we actually do provide much of the country with a lot of produce. And the same is true, everything is sourced at the property. The tomatoes are incredible. And our chef, our lead farmer, Ian Beggar, actually created his own hybrid that's called the Lucid Tiger, where he grafted together two different types of tomato. And now we have our own tomato. We're calling it his retirement program. Hopefully it'll work. Horseback riding is seasonal. It goes from the fall to the spring, usually about November to April, depending on how the temperatures will go. And then we own 1,100 acres completely around the resort. So the hiking, the mountain biking, horseback riding that's in the area is quite incredible. On the right, that's me, the second one down, doing the Via Ferrata and doing some rock climbing. It's assisted rock climbing. And again, all exclusive just for the guests of the resort that are there. And then we also have a suspension aerial walkway that is kind of an e-ticket for people to take to go over there. We're doing archery now, ATV tours, fly fishing, and helicopter tours as well. Our spa services are all done in these outdoor cabanas. There's 3 of them on the property. It's very popular, more so than I think the owner originally expected it to be. So I do see some additions coming in the future. And then this is just part of this is the practice wall at the Via Ferrata where the guides will take you up, make sure that you're comfortable being on a lower wall before they take you up higher. And this shows the suspension bridge. Everything is in a harness. You're completely redundantly protected whenever you're walking. So it's a safe, but it's a thrilling adventure to go through. So, of course, we're following the Arizona Clean and Safe guidelines. This is something that's around the country that's all part of the American Hotel Association to be careful. We're really fortunate that we have so much space so people can spread out when they come over. And we do also have access to helicopter that is a great way to do a transfer back up into the resort because we're 7.2 miles of dirt road just to get to the very end of it. So driving it, I drive my regular car up there. The helicopter's fine. We have had a motor coach up there. A mini coach would probably be best for the area there. The Stone House is one of the more original buildings that was pieced together like a jigsaw puzzle from the original homes that were there. And on the left side, there's a larger meeting space that we also set up as a chapel. And that's just under 2,000 square feet. And on the right-hand side, yeah, I have a treat for everyone here. If I can unshare for a minute my screen. You guys want to meet our owner? He just walked into my thing. I'm putting him on the spot a little bit.
I don't have
so
my shirt tail with
you can
tucked
just
in.
say, this is, come down where mine is right there. This is Mike Watts. He's the owner. So he just happened to come in and probably is going to tell me something about my budget. So this is a group of meeting planners that I'm giving a presentation to on the property. So.
Excellent. Okay. Well,
So-
I apologize for interrupting. Nice to meet all of you, and hopefully she'll do a great job.
The Condé Nast Hot List. We're celebrating the Hotel Hot List this week. So congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. I don't think I knew about that.
Yes, you did. We had it a while ago. So
No.
yeah.
Okay.
So I'll be done in a minute. Sorry, you guys. That was kind of fun.
Sorry to do that. I'll talk to you later about.
Okay. Yeah,
Thank
I'll
you.
be a little bit. Sorry, you guys. That was kind of fun, though. I was kind of hoping that he would come in and get to see it. Let me go
That's
back
awesome.
to the screen. And that goes to show you also how involved in the property that he is. I mean, every little detail he likes to look at, and especially with a lot of this renovation, like we did with the stone house where the meeting space is, all of that between he and his wife were lovingly overlooked to sort of bring the property back to fruition, not necessarily expecting from the beginning for it to be a resort hotel. They had, you know, gosh, should we put it back into a family compound for veteran rehabilitation, which is what was what it was when JFK went. And it just sort of told him apparently, and it came into this whole area of it. So I find it a very refreshing new twist, and we're still defining all the additions to the property, but I think everyone will see what a special gem it is when they come and visit. This kind of shows you a little bit where the property is. Scottsdale over on the right. If I can help out where it says Carefree, if you guys can see this really well. So that's the boulders that those are you're familiar with. Coming down over here is where the Four Seasons is. So we're sort of on the west side and then north a little bit as well too, just to kind of help out with that. And then this shows some of the drive times south of Sedona, so quite a bit. And that's about it. I do have a recipe video to show that for our hotties is our hot salsa. So I can maybe answer questions first. And if otherwise I can go into the other video too and just show the recipe.
Why don't you do the video and then they can think of their questions, Tina.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me find it. Now I have it up.
That recipe, I watched it the other day. It looked delicious. I like the fact that you roasted all the tomatoes and veggies before you made the salsa.
Right? Yeah. I might have closed it out. I'm terribly sorry. Nope.
I don't see any questions in the chat box. Does anyone have any questions of Tina? Here she goes.
This is our chef. You guys can see that, right? So that's our chef. They call it the, when I'm up on property, they call it the, oh gosh, now I'm losing it. They call it the lab. So everything they do, they pull things actually off of the farm.
You know, we can't see your video yet.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we just see your
Calendar,
email.
though. We see that we're highlighted. That's good. Hope you didn't say anything bad about us. Thank you for, yeah. Ah,
there it is.
Let me start over. So that's our chef. That is what I was saying. And since they refer to their kitchen with the farm as the lab, they actually can go out and pick these outside And they'll even talk to the farmers about what it is that they want them to grow in order for them to see it. John, who's our sous chef, he has things drying. A lot of the employees actually live on property. There's housing that's on property. And he actually leaves things drying around his house that he used to make with herbs and to spice up and in the meals that you have. The farmers will actually come and touch the tables when you're dining at night to kind of explain to you what it is that they've grown in order for them to give it to the chefs so that the chefs can serve it to everyone right now. I don't think that
We're not getting your audio, Tina.
we're not getting that audio, so. Are you hearing that?
You need to turn it up, I think.
No, that's that button, that share your computer audio button. So what we can do is you can stop it and you can stop sharing your screen. And then before you do that, you need to click that little button in the left-hand corner that says share computer audio. So if you stop sharing your screen right now and then restart it, you'll have that little button.
I think I got it.
Okay.
So when we're starting with the salsa, something I like to start with, an interesting technique I picked up over the years was to confit the garlic initially. That's going to be the most time-consuming part. So I'll take about 6 cloves of garlic and cover those in olive oil and let that cook just till it gets a nice golden brown at a low temperature. It's going to take about 15-20 minutes. Take the garlic out, set that aside with the other ingredients. Then you have your sun-ripened tomatoes, and I like to either char these on either the barbecue grill or in the hearth, maybe a wood fire oven if possible. Today we're going to use the barbecue grill, something pretty standard. So I'll start with my tomatoes, I'll get those all on the grill. Once I start to get a nice little color on the tomatoes, a little bit of a char, I'm going to flip them over, and after the first turn on the tomatoes, then I'm going to add my onion and my leeks and chili pepper of your choice. Today I used a jalapeno and I seeded half of it. That's just a preference on how much heat. Again, we're going to keep an eye on our tomatoes and continue to turn them to avoid excessive char, but you want to get a good amount of color on them. And any of the excess drippings or liquid there, make sure you're trying to collect that into a pan because this is all going to go back into our salsa into the blender at the end. We're starting to see some really nice color on our vegetables, so we're going to pull them into a pan and we're going to go right into the refrigerator with these to cool. Now, the reason you want to cool these tomatoes before you go straight into the blender and add your herbs, you can if you're in a pinch, no problem. But since we're going to be introducing cilantro and some garlic chives, they give it a nice bright green color. And if I were to cook that in the blender, if I were to introduce into the blender with the hot tomatoes, it's going to cook the herbs and they're going to turn brown. We want a nice bright green with the red tomato for our finished product. Now that we pull our tomatoes out of the fridge, they've been chilling for about 15 minutes. They're cool to the touch. They're going to go in our blender. And into our blender, we're going to add a pinch of salt. We're going to add the confit garlic, cilantro, our flat leaf garlic chives, and some lemon juice. And now we're going to blend this all together until it's nice and smooth. You want to be careful with your salsas. It's kind of you take it to your desired consistency, if you will. If you like it chunky, you're just going to pulse it in the blender. I like it nice and smooth, but again, I added fresh herbs, and I don't want the color to become uniform. So a relatively smooth salsa is going to be our final product here. And then what you're left with is this fantastic sun-ripened salsa that has a little bit of a char to it, so it's got a little bit of a black note to it, and then you've got your bright red tomatoes and your fresh herbs that come through on it. This is something you could sit and enjoy by the pool. I mean, today I had it for lunch. It's fantastic, really bright, and you can add to any dish.
And that's my hotel.
That's great. I'm totally doing that. That looks delicious.
There's a number of other recipes that are on there, which is what we did while we were closed. But happy to say out here, when we opened, I was telling Carol, we opened on September 3rd and we were sold out on September 4, 5, and 6. Wow. And we haven't really looked back. So it's like, okay, it's only 30 rooms, I know, but I was able to do it. So thank you, everyone.
Mood of the moment, I think, Tina, because people do want the wide open spaces. They do think about health and wellness a lot right now. and it's a great size for a buyout. I have seen one chat. I think Kimberly said she's looking to source Arizona right now, so hopefully you guys can talk offline.
I have a question about the hot springs themselves. It said there were 3 different temperatures. How hot are these springs?
When the water actually comes out of the rock, it's upwards of around 115 degrees. I'm really careful of where I put that in collateral because it would scald you really if you did it. That's how hot it is. By the time it comes down, it seeps out of the rock, and different climate changes will make it sometimes spurt out a little bit, and sometimes it just comes down. So the first pool stays pretty solid at around 106 degrees, 105 degrees, which is a warm hot tub. The second pool, that's quite a bit larger, so it cascades down and then it's larger, and that's what makes it cool off, stays at about 96 degrees. And then the third pool actually meanders down the canyon. There's a lot of palm trees that are there, and then that's our largest pool, and like I say, that's the one that stays at about 86 degrees.
Okay, thank
Thanks.
you. Does anyone else have any questions before we sign off? I loved today. This was so much fun. First of all, I'm hungry now, so
I'm hungry.
Thank you for that. But this was, when we were looking at these 2 very distinct properties, right? We're wondering how these 2 were going to tie together. I love the culinary tie that we've had. And I just think that there's it just proves that there's something for everybody out there. And I love both of our properties today. I wanted to thank Stephen and Tina and your team. And tell us your owner's name. What is his name?
It's Mike Watts.
Okay, well, please thank Mike for.
I will. I'm going to have to apologize to him for putting him on the spot, but he is very interested in all aspects of it. So he likes to. You can often see him on property if people are there. So very involved.
Well, thank him
Tell
for
him
that.
that we all send our regards and congratulations, and when you'll get a list of who was on the call today, you can share with him, and we all send our best to you and the best of luck.
Great.
As you move forward. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. If no one else has any questions of Tina, I wanted to put a plug in for next Wednesday. We are taking Wednesday. I wouldn't say that we're taking it off because we have our virtual showcase next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We have a wonderful gift box for the first 100 planners to register. If you haven't registered already, I urge you to go online and do so. The link is on our website. It's really going to be we have a marvelous lineup and terrific support. We have some terrific creativity that we're integrating into this. We are going to be cooking together. We are going to be having a cocktail hour, having also a moment of inspiration. It's really going to be great. So if you haven't registered yet, please do so.
And Carol, we need to turn it over to Kelly.
Yep, I know.
Okay, gotcha.
But I wanted to put in a plug for the week after the virtual roadshow. We are going back to one of our exotic partners, Lindsay Baylog from Virgin, and we're going to take a virtual trip to Morocco. That is Wednesday, November, I think it's the 4th. Going to Morocco that afternoon to the Casbah. Richard Branson has a very sexy hotel there. They're also going to be doing some baking, so get ready for that. And I cannot wait to see what you all can cook up along the lines of come with me to the Casbah. So that is going to be our next real-time retreat in 2 weeks' time. So I'm turning this over to Kelly now. Kelly?
Well, Kathy West's kitchen's already clean from baking today, so I think we should just go there in 2 weeks. We'll be set.
You're going to cook for us? Because I'm in.
Right? Well, I had to shed my mink, so I'm in my stole now. But my kindred spirit today gets the award for all of her pink and all of her efforts and the electric guitar. So Carol Ann,
yeah,
gems of your choice, lady. I'm sure they will be hot pink too. Thank you for the presentations, ladies. It was wonderful, and I'm excited to go to Arizona and meet you, Tina, and see the property. And as always, Hotel Bennett is one of my favorites, so it was great to see that again.
Absolutely. You guys did a marvelous job, and I just want to thank each and every one of you for your enthusiasm and for bringing the joy every Wednesday. Thank you again. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Sorry, I thought you were heading out, and I was like, oh wait,
No,
Kelly.
no, I just wanted to plug Lindsay. I just confirmed her this morning, so.
Yeah, good. All right, hang on one second. Let me pause.